Okay, so this is for the shot list assignment. For this first tutorial, I'm going to show you how to set up, import your files, name them, and organize them. So we'll go ahead and click on New Project. A couple things to note in this first window. First is you're going to name the project. This will be last name underscore shot list. And then you're going to define where you want to save it. And you can do that by clicking on Browse. In your case, on the student computers, you'll save this in your thaw space. On my case, just for this purpose, I'll go ahead and create a new folder here. And this will be called Shot List. And I'll go ahead and save it there. Go ahead and save it in that Shot List folder. And then I'll click OK. Then in Premiere, you get this next window that opens. It'll open here in just a sec. That's asks you all kinds of questions about the settings for your particular files. One thing to note about this is Premiere does a great job at reading your actual video and defining the settings for you. So we're just going to close this window or click Cancel down here, and we'll open a Premiere project without any sequence. And then I'll show you how to define the sequence based on your video in the next tutorial. Once this comes up, you can click on your project panel up here. You got a tab that says Project, and we're going to go ahead and import our video files. So I'll choose Import. I'll find those files. Now, you should have already copied these files to your thaw space. You don't want to import them from anywhere but your thaw space, because then when you log out of your computer, you log back in, they'll be gone. So in my case, I've got them here on my desktop in a folder called Shot List Assignment. But again, these should be in your thaw space. So I'm going to select all my video files there, and then I'm going to choose Open. That'll import all these files into my project panel. Think of this like a file cabinet, and once they're in there, then I'm able to work with them. But before I start adding them to my timeline or creating a sequence, I first want to name them and organize them. This will make things easier to work with. So I'm going to create what's called a bin. Looks like a little folder icon, and I'm going to call this video. So I'll put all my video in there, and then I'm going to take all these video files. I'll click one, and I'll hold down Shift and click another one at the top. I'm going to drag all those into my video folder. And then you can see right now, it's not that helpful because I only have one bin, but eventually for this project we'll have a couple bins, and you'll see that it keeps things organized. Then I'll want to go ahead and double click on the icon for the first video here, and I can see it comes up in my project panel here. I recognize this shot. This is my over the shoulder shot. So I'm going to name this OTS for over the shoulder. So I'm naming it something that's helpful for me, so then when I start working with it, they're not just all called HDV underscore a bunch of numbers, which means nothing to me. I'll double click the next one. This is my introduction, and if I wanted to play it in here to hear that, I could click play. Alright, so that's going to be my first shot, and I'll call it intro. And I'll do a couple more here so you get the sense. I don't remember what this shot is. Okay, so that's a long shot. So I can just listen to it, and I should have the audio there. So I can call it long shot, or if I want to abbreviate LS for long shot. Do a couple more. Medium shot, MS, and one more. Alright, close up. So you'll go through all these, and you'll name all those so that they're nice and organized there. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to create the sequence. So you'll notice down here in your timeline it says no sequences. That's because we closed that window initially that was asking for all the settings for the sequence. And what we're going to do is we're going to find our first clip that we want to use in this particular project. In this case, it's called intro. And we're going to take the icon of that clip, click it, and drag it to this little icon down here that looks like a page turning up. And I'm going to drop it right there. When I do that, Premiere will create a sequence for me with the name of that clip, and it'll have all of the perfect settings for my particular video. So this is how you want to set up a new sequence. That way you don't have to guess on what the settings are. You don't have to do the research to figure out what all the particular settings for that camera are. Once I have that new sequence created, I'll drag it out of that folder. So then, because it's not a video, it's a sequence, and now you'll see that it's outside of my video folder, and then I can rename it, and you want to name this last name underscore shot list. So that is the importing your files, setting up the project, naming your files, organizing them, and setting up your sequence.